too many chances to understand that pain sounds different when it's coming from a man. We not allowed to.
Yo, this your boy Tony coming through another episode of Backyard Comedy. As always, I got my boy, Skeezy baby. Please say that, baby.
Yeah, I already know.
That really duty I got beside me.
Right, in the flesh and spirit, brother. What's up?
What's up, brother? I'm your boy Vocal 26, man. We gonna do a recap of the last episode before we get into it. Y'all already know it's brought to you by Real Demand TV.
Boom.
We're streaming in 172 countries. Anywhere that you can download podcasts on, we are on there. I'm telling you, it's a line of it. Make sure you get it. Download Podbean, listen to us, iHeartRadio. Everything that you can find a podcast on, we are on there. So let's get to this recap, man. We had the Cigar Princess, and man, it was a heck of a time, man. Had a really good time. She came through, had to teach us about our damn palates.
You still on there?
Your palate. Your boy was gonna fly. He was gonna fly.
I sure was. You know what I mean? And if you haven't looked at it, check it out. It's streaming right now, man. It was a real good episode and very funny.
Yes.
On this episode, we're gonna do something. It's June, so it's Men's Mental Health Awareness Month.
It is.
And we're going to talk about that a little bit, man. If you see me with my paper towel here, giving honor to God. That's because it's steaming with the beaming with all these lights. He ain't lying. But men's mental health, it's not normally, talked about a lot, man. So what do y'all feel y'all want to give into this insight this month for men's mental health awareness?
I'll go ahead and start it off, man.
I know you do.
You know I will. I kick it off with some stats here. From the Anxiety and Depression Association of America. Over 6 million men suffer from depression per year. But male depression often goes undiagnosed. You know what I'm saying? More than 3 million men in the U.S. have a panic disorder or some type of phobia, and you never know it. 2 to 3 million Americans are affected by bipolar disorder, and an equal amount of men and women develop this illness. The age of onset for men is between 16 to 25.
Wow, man.
Yeah. One more. One of the leading causes of disability in America is schizophrenia. Schizophrenia, I'm sorry. Approximately 3.5 million people in the U.S. have been diagnosed, and 90% of those who are diagnosed are by age 30 are men.
I wonder how many of these black males. Do it break that down?
I didn't see that part.
Yeah, I wonder how many.
And the numbers would be even higher if the people that don't say nothing would come forward. That's just for the people that came forward.
That came forward and get help.
Right.
It's a lot that's
crazy,
not diagnosed, as they said, man. So we got to go out there and get help, man. First of all, when you're dealing with something that you can't control or you feel like you can't control it, you need to get some guidance on how to control it. It should never be anything or any situation. Of course, situations happen where it's out of your control, but something where you're dealing with yourself and something that you is supposed to be in your control and you cannot control it, you definitely need to get help.
I myself, man, I for a long time, everybody know if you know me, or if you have watched the show, we hope that you're liking, sharing, and subscribing. But everybody know I give an insight in my life, man. And one point in time, I thought the same thing that. I can handle it on my own, or after I talk to one of y'all boys, that'd be that's the end of it. And typically I will let stuff like that go, but sometimes that thing don't let you go. You know what I'm saying? You really got to get the necessary help, and sometimes it is going a step further and going past a friend or going to get the right help, the professional help. You know what I mean? Because it do take take a play in it. Do be medicines involved sometimes, stuff like that. And if we don't know that's what we need, or what I'm saying, I ain't saying be out here and be no pill popping animal.
Damn.
Like that. But sometimes
if it helps you be a better person,
you have to take.
Sometimes you gotta do it, man, until you can get to the point where you don't have to do it. You gotta master it. You gotta master it. It's all about mastering things that try to conquer you in life. You can't let it happen.
Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, and that depression leads to suicide and death. And that's when we get conquered a lot, And I just wanted to say, although women attempt suicide more often, it says
what?
Yep, that's what it says. Men are more likely to complete the suicide.
Okay, so they attempt it, but they don't go all the way through.
Yeah, and that's because men use methods that are more likely to cause death.
Yeah.
Instant
Yeah,
death.
they go on the furthest.
And
man.
also we show fewer signs.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So nobody ever knows until it's over.
Until we snap.
And that's the
You know what
thing
I'm
about
saying?
it, though. I think a lot of people, shun men for even speaking out about it. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
And so we have to carry that load for however long. I hate it, but a lot of people, they can't carry it no more in their life, bro.
Yeah,
That's
I
very
have
unfortunate.
thought that I needed to talk to certain people that I thought I needed to talk to, and it didn't make my situation or my mindset of what I was thinking about even better, because especially when you got a person that particularly know everything about you damn near, it's kind of hard for them to look past that shit instead of saying, okay, let me help you, male or female, let me help you. They want to say, oh, well, you did this is what you would, what you blah 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 blah, when you really do be needing that help. A lot of times I myself, I have lashed out because I'm just trying to get the motherfucker to listen to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But
Like,
that
just
shows,
listen.
that shows if a person is willing to put their self aside and care enough to listen to you.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah. I get to the point, man, I'll be like, the hell with it. You know what I'm saying? I got to get this done. Like, I got to go do this regardless of anything. And, men, especially black men, because I can't speak about any other race because I'm a black man.
Right.
True.
I do know that we carry a lot of shit, man, when it comes to kids, families, curses when we was that wasn't broken before we was born. That shit rushed back when we get older and we feel like we can take it on. And a lot of times we do take it on.
Yeah.
But we ain't realizing that back is still pouring out. It's still leaking. You know what I'm saying? We got to cover up all the wounds, and sometimes they don't get covered up fully. We just put a little Band-Aid over one of them.
Yeah, and
That's just my opinion.
A lot of things like the Band-Aid you speaking on could be drugs, alcohol, a lot of things that lead you further down that path that you don't need to go down. You know what I'm saying?
And that's I'm glad you said that because that's ways to identify that you have a problem.
Yep.
That goes right down to this list right here: misuse of alcohol, not controlling violent abuse behavior, anger, irritability, aggressiveness all the time, risky behavior, noticeable changes in your mood, difficulty concentrating.
My boy speaking today.
I'm just reading off the list here because we see this type of stuff.
Yeah, we've been through this type of stuff.
And these are things that men is different from what a women may experience. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Women may experience some of the different stuff, some of the same stuff like sadness and stuff like that.
But you know what, man? I see a lot on social media, and I see women always saying that men need to be, more considerate of what you just saying right then and there. When it's not played, in my opinion, from my own experiences, it's not played that way when it comes to a man showing his vulnerability of feelings. I
think because it's not done enough, and so it's again shunned. You know what I'm saying? So they're not gonna look at it like, okay, well, what he's saying is truthful because not enough men are saying it. You know, so they look at it like a fairy tale, like this nigga just tripping, or you're being sassy. You know what I'm saying? Crazy stuff.
So basically, you're saying that if a man it's not acceptable for a man to show that he's his feelings, but it's okay for a woman to do it, and
no problem.
And it's okay for us to be there for them, but they
when
need
it's
to
vice
also
versa,
be there.
It's not the same.
It's not the same.
I get that, man, and I think that's instilled in the training and in the nurturing
of the individual,
because the way people was raised, because sometimes you're not always taught, the women are not always taught that they should also be there for their man in that sort of way, that they should be that helpmate. Right. That's part of being that helpmate for your man is okay, keeping secrets that he had and not using them against him and trying to better him and make him better.
That one time before.
That's a big thing.
That's a real big thing, man. And we were talking about it earlier, man. With Cam Newton podcast, man. Shout out to the episode. What was old buddy's name?
McLean.
Yeah. Shout out to him,
Woody
man.
McLean.
Yeah, shout out to him, man. Cause that was a real moment that I feel that black men needed to see, because it's not portrayed that we can lean on each other and cry about something or talk about this experience.
My bad. You good? I know you are good. Funky Friday with Cam Newton and Woody McClain in 3.
I won't allow nobody to put me in a box. I worked so hard to not be seen as that younger Woody, and having that conversation with God, I just always wanted to go down just a better path.
No one wants a trouble boy, leave alone the trouble boy.
I was in jail for 9 months asking God to get me out of this situation.
Trouble boy, leave alone the
I have twins on the way, 2 baby girls. And it's scary because I know nothing about being a father.
That's fair.
I want to be a role model. I want to be that person people can look up to or go to.
No one wants a trouble boy, show me you're a trouble boy.
For some reason now, in the acting community, people identify you what you play. I don't want my baby girls to grow up and think their dad is a bad person. I'm just more conscious about the art I put out to the universe. So everything is blurry right now. I'm just trying to figure it out. Yeah.
Like we say, man, we bottled it up. I myself, I bottle stuff up because I know, like, at the end of the day, I gotta keep it popping. And it's people, from my experiences, this is just me talking for the Mental Health Awareness Month. From my experiences, people only care while you talking right then and there, and you talking then. After that, they don't seem to give a damn unless they genuinely. I can count on this hand how many people that will call the next day. Text message, you good, you all right, throw a joke out there just to make sure, because it's only for that moment for me, from what I would have seen. Even when it came down to my parents, like, it had only been like that moment, and then after that, they don't talk about it no more.
I mean, some people people do have their own things that they're going through. So it may not be that they don't care. It might just be they dealing with something themselves.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't always put it on, it's not that they don't care.
You know I'm going.
But I know you go full full at it.
Yeah.
But I think it's something to definitely talk about. I think if you have the proper talks when you talk, you don't have to talk about it all the time.
Right, that's real.
And I think it makes a difference that you do talk about it when you do talk about it, and you heal in that moment, and you continue to grow, and then you heal in that moment, and you continue to grow.
And see, piggyback off for you, man. I didn't realize that until, like, I would always say it out my mouth, but when I really started to put toward work into healing, I can understand some of those things you were saying about how I didn't need to react. Because as soon as I went into a conversation, I'm coming in with that damn you mindset off the gate. Like, you gonna listen to me because you already done said what you had to say. You done cussed me, you done whatever. So now, you gonna listen to me, but you can't go in there with that mindset all the time. I'm still that firecracker now. Can't talk to me the kind of way that's sort of thing. Right? But, I will listen and sit back. And I have always been the one to call you, like, man, my bad, I was wrong in that moment. That's what I'm saying? I would do that. Everybody don't do that. I have people that still owe me in the pocket to this day.
To this day. To this day.
You know what I'm saying? But they ain't gonna do it. You know what I mean?
People. It's hard for somebody to own up to what they did to you and apologize. Man. I mean, because it's easier for me to say, "No, you did this to me." I did that, but you did this.
Tit for tat.
It's much easier than me to say, "Look, man, I'm sorry. I apologize for me coming at you that way or doing this that way." But sometimes when we do that, that not only heals the person, but it heals us as well. We don't realize that, and then we have something else stacked on ourselves because we just didn't apologize or we just didn't take that accountability.
I really think that shows growth when you take that accountability. Nah, bro.
Hey, man, we talking in here, man.
Crazy.
When you take accountability like that, man, because a lot of people, they don't want to own up to a lot of things that they're doing because they're covering up for other things that they are hiding. You know what I'm saying?
And you know what? I can feel that, man, because, one reason that made me act like that, I have put so much trust into certain people that I thought that what my feelings would at least be valid sometime or damn another. So when I didn't see that there were, or it was told to me that there wasn't, my mindset gonna be like, okay, you just like everything else that has hurt me or that I felt like has broke me down to the point where I gotta feel like this about every damn thing. And like you say, it started when I was a child.
Childhood trauma rewires the brain and the immune system. We often think of trauma as something we survive, something we move past. But what if early trauma doesn't just live in memory? And what if it rewires the body? Emerging research is painting a new, more unsettling picture. Childhood adversity doesn't just shape who we are psychologically. It leaves a permanent imprint on our biology. From the structure of our brains to the way our immune systems behave, early life stress has ripple effects that can last a lifetime. These changes aren't just emotional, they're cellular. They reprogram immune responses, ignite chronic inflammation, and alter neural circuits involved in emotion and regulation. This isn't just about trauma making us feel bad. It's about how adversity makes us more biologically vulnerable to conditions like depression, bipolar disorder, and anxiety decades later. And it's why two people with similar life stories can follow very different mental health paths. Some remain resilient while others unravel. The difference may lie in how trauma shapes the immune-brain dialogue. New studies are identifying specific inflammatory markers tied to trauma, biomarkers that could be used not just to diagnose, but to prevent.
It started from there, and it never got resolved. It never got resolved. It never got resolved.
That's what I was gonna say, man. That's why we gotta heal from that stuff because at that point, you know, we can't control everything they do, but I'm gonna automatically put you in that box now. You know what I'm saying? And maybe you do something different, but to me, you're not. You know, but it happens. But as long as we take the steps to better ourselves and do something different, man, and make sure that we heal from that thing, and the next time we're presented with it, you know, there you go. Making a different path.
You know, I took a step out there, man. I ain't gonna go all into detail, man, but you know, it's very important that we learn how to break these generational curses. You know, I have been responsible for breaking a generational curse. So now I don't have to worry about it trickling down to my kids and bam, 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 bam. I had to stop the debt. You know what I'm saying? And yes, it was hard to do. Yes, it was some shit that came with it, but it had to be done, and it made me better. It lifted a fucking world off of me that I was just toting, that I didn't even need to tote. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of men feel like that they have to tote these things and tote these burdens and tote the stuff. You don't have to. You just gotta let it go, man, and give it to God. We always told that, but you gotta start with yourself. God ain't gonna do it so much. He ain't gonna do it all for you now. You got to be able to go out here and do it yourself and take that step and believe in yourself.
It feels like it's so hard. It feels like it's so hard before you do it. But once you do it, you realize the weight and how it feels to do it. Now you like, wow, I should have did that a long time ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah, probably would have been the same outcome, but it's better than holding it in. If you got to poop and you hold it, something gonna happen.
That's what I'm saying. It's got to go out regardless.
And that's
holding it ain't gonna make no difference.
And that's typical when I feel
it's gonna make it
that
worse.
men. I ain't gonna say men. I'm gonna say myself. That's typically feel like when I have lashed out, when I didn't let something go, or I'll be like, I push it over because I don't feel like that person gonna listen to what I gotta say anyway. So I'll be like, all right, cool, we good, but I really ain't good. Because the first time you step out that thing, I'm off the gate. Like, oh, nah, man, I knew you was going to do this.
Because I think that's what happens a lot, man. We always feel like we're strong people, and we are. And we're very strong. But and when it comes down to it, we say, boom, I can handle that. I'm good. And when the person asks you, say, I'm good. And then when your people ask you, oh, I'm good. You know, but really we ain't. You know, really deep down inside, you're not good. You know, I think that's something we got to start working on as a people, man. Trying to hide the hurt and pain, scared that someone else is going to react to what we, you know, the fear of someone else's reaction.
That's I don't know what you ate today, but it got you going today.
You stupid.
It got you talking today, man, and that's real, man. And you know, I haven't even seen a lot of people talking about men's mental health awareness month.
Not too many people.
Breast cancer is top flight. They got it on ESPN, everything. You got to put it's all on your clothes and all.
I bet you Juneteenth be popping.
But
see, that's my thing, man.
There need to be more awareness for that, man.
I love Juneteenth. I do. But we got to get to this. We got to get to the root of it, man. It's a divide. We got. It can't be like we only coming together to party and die. We got to come together before we party and die. Let's just say that.
Yeah, that's real talk, man. I know you got your daddy about you. I already know he gonna see this. He gonna say that. He gonna come in another thing. I know that man smart, man. But you know, it needs to be more awareness when it comes to that, man. More togetherness as far as men. It's not a lot of events. You know, I looked up some, but it's not a lot of events where they hold that's being held for men to come and just fellowship, you know, network, talk to each other, boom, boom, boom. Because somebody experience can help an experience that you think you can't get out of.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? God always placed people for a reason, and I have been there for people that have been placed.
Yes, sir.
And even though it was for 15 minutes, but the word that they put upon my life helped me, and it stayed with me, so I can cross over to that next level. Now I ain't gonna do it all. I can do it all to you now. Yeah. But the thing about it is, when you got a past and people look at you and that's all they see is your past, they don't think God is talking through you. You feel what I'm saying? They don't know that God can still use a wretch just like me. Tattoos, drug dealing days, kids at a young age, like all that, everything that I have been done is for my life to be able to get me to where I'm going to sit here and talk to somebody that can help somebody on the other side of this camera.
I think sometimes,
that's what I feel.
Sometimes though, they know the message is coming through you from God.
Let me tell you what somebody told me. I can't wait for you to bring me through.
They use that excuse to like not listen. You know what I'm saying? Oh, it's because it's him.
No matter who it is.
That boy was talking out his throat.
Yeah.
The message is still the message. It don't matter. If God wants that message to get to you, it's going to get to you.
Yeah. He put people in our lives for that very reason, man. It's just up to us, guess what, to listen. Some of us don't know how to listen.
I didn't know how to listen.
Some people don't know how to listen.
I have had this. I'm talking to you, man. Listen, this is real. I've had a direct order from God, and I did not listen, bro.
And listening just don't mean I hear you and I heard it, and I'm gonna go tell my friends I heard you. Listening means following the steps of what he does, what he says.
But I'm on sweet. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You got to put that action in it, man. And every time I haven't done it, and
amen.
Here's the thing about it: you can pray and pray and pray and pray, but let me ask you something right now, people. What you gonna do when it really come? How you gonna act when He bring it to you and say, "Well, this is what you wanted"? Are you gonna do the work for it? You can say, "Well, if God come, use a damn lie." Use a damn lie. You're not gonna do it every time because you're not gonna believe what it is right then.
Yeah,
you're gonna think you know. You're gonna think you know.
Unless you do know.
Discernment.
And that's called discernment. And that comes from God. He's going to give you something. He's going to tell you. He's going to give it to you. God is going to always give you a chance and a choice. He's going to let you know. So we got to stop acting like we surprised by some of this stuff that's going on and what's happening. We shouldn't be surprised really by nothing right now that's going on because it's all been written.
Yeah. He ain't lying. Go ahead. Real talk, man. Real talk.
I ain't lying though.
We just keep on going with the motions and going how we going. But I ain't gonna try to tell nobody nothing wrong. Now, if you want to go jump over here and let's turn up, let's do that. But I'm gonna say, hey, look, you do know if we come over here now, what's gonna happen? You know what I'm saying? I'm that kind of person. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I feel it, I gotta say it. And sometimes it comes out Tasmanian devil. I mean, it does that sometimes, you know. But I got good intentions, man. I get emotional sometimes.
but I mean, and that's good for, it's good for a black man because we don't always do that, you know. And when you do it, a lot of times it's frowned upon, honestly. Yeah. But I tell you, man, and I tell you all the time, it's cool with me because guess what? I know what you mean. I know what you're saying. You know what I'm saying, and I know where your heart is. And the thing about it is that we got to be able to do that with one another, right? And hear what each other's actually saying, man. Because we can never get better if we don't be able to talk to each other and communicate in that way.
Sometimes that is the problem.
Sometimes it ain't always I'm mad at you. It ain't always I'm hurt. It's just I'm hurt at a situation, but it might come out at me talking with you. I'm just feeling myself, but guess what? I still love you the same. I understand what you mean. I understand where we at. Let's talk about it. Let's continue to love each other and grow as people. You know?
Sometimes we gotta get up on a high horse though. You know what I'm saying? Because we'll be on a high horse where somebody will ask you what's wrong, what's your problems, but you know you don't want to say nothing because you know what I'm saying. Like,
ain't nothing wrong. I don't want to say nothing, especially if I know you're gonna go back and say something.
But we gotta have that safe space where we know it's people that we can talk to, and we have to trust them when we've seen that we can talk to them. But sometimes we don't do it. We understand that they that type of people, but we still keep ourselves in a box. And to that person, they're wondering why. But
don't wonder why if you know you're in your.
But God has sent God has sent. I'm talking about the people that God has sent in your life. That you're holding back from. Totally that's what I'm saying.
Oh yeah,
it's different from the ones that run their mouth.
Yeah, that's real talk, bro. Real talk. but that has played on the part for a while. You know, some men, as myself, I don't want to say shit to certain people.
Yeah, it happened even for me. Like, you know, that creates a trauma. You know what I'm saying? Like where you had this trust for like your
like
people.
I came to you with a safe mind to be like, hey. And then here's the thing about it. Sometimes the people have really gave me really good advice back. That's what I needed to hear. But then I find out, like, come on.
But here's the thing: they're gonna give you that advice that you need to hear sometimes. But sometimes they're gonna give you false advice because when you go into that person, it's gonna be you gotta understand that they also hear from the place that you hear from. You see what I'm saying? So sometimes the message will be accurate, sometimes it won't. But that's why you got to find that person, and the message is always accurate.
What I learned, even with like getting advice from bad things you're going through, they're still envious of what you're going through. You know what I'm saying? It could be something bad, but they just like
envious spirit is real.
It's real.
It's really real.
It's real. That's
real.
the ones that use it against you.
That's
the ones that use it against you, man. And everything you have said, they'll say you'll figure it out. Trust me, you'll figure it out because they're gonna say something in a joke or something one day that you're like, oh, what?
And that's the one that burns me up, like that joking, like sarcastic stuff. Like I ain't with it. Like, you know,
now, if you know I love you, I'm willing to help you. I ain't gonna joke about something like that. I'm gonna joke about this. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because one thing about it is, if we gonna hang together, I'm gonna joke you. You know, we're gonna joke each other. You know what I'm saying?
But we know when somebody, you know what I mean?
Exactly. I'm not gonna joke you when you hurt, and I ain't gonna let nobody else joke you.
That's sure ain't, and that's when like I said earlier, that's when you get this Tasmanian inside of me. I'm gonna stand up, man. It is what it is. Like, if we wrong, we gonna tell each other when we get to where we going. I ain't gotta do it in front of everybody. Sometimes it may permit that I need to do it. You know what I'm saying? It depends.
If it has to.
But when we get to where we going, bro, you know you was wrong about that shit, man. Like, come on, bro. We gonna talk about it then and there, and then we gonna move on. I don't want a friend where if we have a disagreement like that, or we talking about something like that, or if I know you dealing with a mental health issue, and I keep it hot with you, now we got a problem with each other because I kept it hot with you. No, brother, that ain't what it's for.
They gotta be able to say, look, you right, I do have this problem. And I do want to try to get help. Thank you for allowing me to be in the space where you can talk to me about this. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. We gotta, sometimes we feel offended or we feel, you know, shame, and we got to stop allowing ourselves to feel shame enough that we don't get the help we need.
That's real.
And I thank God that I
you don't feel shame for the other stuff, shaking the butts and the girl and the children out here shaking the butts. We don't feel shame for that.
Sure don't.
So, you know, I mean, come on now, let's keep it real. Don't feel shame for something that you really need help with.
Hey, if I see it's
claiming lives.
Any of my kids, daughters, sons, any of them, and I see them doing, get on, pop that. You see a long get off that stage like that.
Man, it's just crazy, man. Because you know, it's not a lot of guidance out here. I'll say that. You know, a lot of we have a few select of the older people, older generation that are here that has a lot of wisdom. So we have to take it when we get it. Right. Some of that generation that's right under that, they want to be us. And that's the problem. They want to be dressed like us. They want to
be young again.
And that's the problem, because you know, when you look up to those older people that we looked up to, they enjoyed their role as being that old person that was in your life, and they took it on and they made sure that they was that person in your life. They knew they was grandpa or grandma, or they knew they was uncle or whoever. And they took that role in building you who they was and telling you when you was wrong.
Man, I thank God for that, man. It has been a lot of people that on my journey and places I done been, bro, that I have met, bro, that have helped me with some situations, some thoughts, man. A lot of things that I didn't think I was gonna be able to get through or get out of, and God sent that particular person. And I thank God for that, and I thank those people, because if I didn't have it, man, I probably wouldn't be talking to y'all right now.
And some of y'all still praying, and we appreciate it, man.
Sure is.
We here today.
Some of them prayers, it's still working.
We here today, man, because we we definitely appreciate your prayers, and we at this spot now where we can talk to y'all because of your prayers and because of the way that you guys poured into us. So we definitely gonna want to continue to pour back into the people that listen to us and the people that might not listen to us, and we might just shoot a reel out there and you might see it. We want you to know, man, that we love you, and it's okay. You can grow as a person. You're not stuck in that place that you're in. You can come out of it.
Hey man, shout out to LaRussell, man, for that transference of energy, man, because
I ain't lying.
Cause we have been getting people to say that they appreciate us and they've been listening to us, man. I we appreciate you saying that and how you threw it this way, cause I last couple of days, man, people been saying how they've been watching us and all that, man, and it made me feel good, right?
Yeah, that's true.
That even with the words that been thrown towards me, how my mouth is. And I do got a mouth sometimes. Sometimes I do. You know what I'm saying? But like you just said,
we try to reel them in, y'all. But sometimes,
but if you know me, you know I'm not coming from a place like that. Especially if I rocks with you.
That's
now
real.
I get emotional when I talk, and I do go off the hand, but that's only because of the love. I'm only doing it because
passion.
of the love.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Love and passion,
you can't hear it because of the volume, but it's only because of the love.
I turn it down sometimes.
Because if I didn't give a damn about you, I would not say nothing. I can tell you that. I, the hell with you. You know what I mean? That's what I'm going to be. But shout out to bruh for that, man. We appreciate you for that. LaRussell. So, I mean,
no doubt. Shout out, man. Definitely shout out to LaRussell, man. Shout out to all the guests that have poured into us for real, that's came on, and y'all really said, y'all like what we doing, and y'all appreciate what we doing and how we doing it. It's ones that we had on years and years ago that still show love. Man. So I'm saying I love y'all, man, and you don't know how much that means to us, for real.
Yeah, for real.
I mean, I'm just keep it real, man, because you don't know.
We talking about mental health, right?
That's what we talking about.
When we started out, it was doo-doo.
It's only helping us, man. It's helping us not only grow on this podcast, but it's helping us grow as men and as people, man. So,
bro. One point in time, we were trying to make a decision that we was gonna say the hell with it, and just we tried it. But you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
One person, a person that God threw our ways, told me, "Look, man, don't worry about it. I tried it, it didn't work, but that don't mean it ain't work for you. I gave up. Just keep going." And that's what we did.
Yeah.
We kept going. Then it came from 1 subscriber, 2, 3. You know what I mean? You just got to keep going and staying consistent. And you're gonna hear negativity. You know what I'm saying? That if you ain't got haters, you ain't popping. That one thing that one person said that I would take with me. All the rest of that shit is here today or gone tomorrow.
You stupid.
You know what I'm saying? If you ain't got haters, you ain't popping. That's real. That's real.
That's real talk now.
You can have people that you love. You can have people that you lay beside that are hating on you, that are jealous and envious.
I'm gonna just say, if you do,
you better get out of
you need to figure that out. I'm gonna just say, you need to figure that out. You need to figure that out. That ain't my business. And I ain't gonna tell you what to do, but you need to figure that out.
What would you do?
Because
for a client,
you need to figure that out. I would not be laying beside somebody that envy me. I'm gonna just say that I would not be laying beside somebody that envy me.
Yeah, okay. I have experienced that, man, and it came apart where I played my own. You feel what I'm saying? But let me tell you something that I'm not going to do.
What's that?
I'm not going to keep taking accountability. And it's zero being shown towards on the other behalf.
That's real.
I'm not going to do that, man.
Because I
feel like if as a man, if you're letting it out and you talking to that person, male, female, whatever, and they see that, they should meet you with the same energy.
Yeah.
No doubt.
That's what I feel.
And the thing is, man, is
they
have to be receptive to what you in the time that you say it.
Yeah.
It's only certain times that men are gonna trust you with something they tell you.
They ain't lying, son.
And when they do tell you something like that, you gotta be trustworthy. Not you won't hear from them again.
I you know what I mean?
Go ahead, dude.
A lot of men, you know what I'm saying, they've been messed up that way. You know what I'm saying, where their secrets or whatever has been told. Yeah. So it gets harder and harder every round. You know what I'm saying, with each person.
You know, man, so, I'm gonna release this. I have talked to people that have been family members. You know,
members
loved, and when it's an argument, the first thing they say is, "Oh, you think you doing something with that podcast?"
Oh yeah. Oh, it's a lot of
that's envy right there, bro.
That's the first thing that I know, because let me tell you something.
Or your little podcast.
I can read plenty of people that say little podcast. I don't play that, bro.
It's all good. It's little to you. But
you
to
see,
us,
look, America, I have gotten better. I'm shutting up right now. I have gotten better. You know,
man, it don't matter. That don't matter. It don't matter to me, man. And I talk bro through it.
Yeah.
But because we got to realize, man, that no matter what people say, you know, we understand what our purpose is now.
Indeed.
So
well, you walk different. Why wish your daddy was here right now? You walk different when you understand your purpose.
You sure do.
You don't care what people say when you got a purpose. But sometimes I can't turn the other cheek. You hear me?
Yeah.
But you don't give a damn what people saying when you know what your purpose is, man. And people gonna take that as you. Oh, he don't care. Oh, he being different. I am different.
But that's
I'm supposed to be different.
But that brings it around, man, to what can pull you out of your suicidal depression.
Hey, boy, you better go ahead, boy. Yes,
you stupid. Come on, man. Nah, but seriously, man, it really can. You got to find if you really down and depressed, man. Yeah. Find that it's something that you're missing, right? Mm-hmm. And it's something that it's your purpose.
Hey, let me tell you
got to find it. Understand what you really need to be doing or love to do.
He ain't lying.
See, the thing about it, we got to understand this. No matter how much we do things, it'll all be surrounded by a purpose if we align ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It'll all be surrounded by a purpose. Here's aligning for us to do certain things that are according to our purpose.
Yeah.
We got to realize that.
Man, I used to always say, and if you go back and look, I have, like, my grandma always told us that depression was of the devil. Yeah. So I wasn't, and I never seen the men, they either spazzed out or they turned up on your ass because they couldn't bear it no more, or they didn't say it at all. That's the men. Those were the men I was raised around. Like, they barely cried. They only cried maybe at a funeral, maybe.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? If that.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I was always taught that, so I would never understand or want to think that I was going through a depression. And I to this day, I don't think I was, except for one time that was questioned, and that's when my son had passed. Mm-hmm. And I came to you about that shit, did I not? Yeah, because I was like, damn, am I? Because I'm still having a good time, still doing what I got to do, but I was drinking better than
I told you was. I told you was going to.
Two $40 bottles.
You didn't know it.
Y'all. Hey, damn near a day. Ain't bullshit. Like, my hands were swelling up, my legs and shit was swelling up. Like, I guess I was depressed. I guess, but I didn't care though. I ain't care. But when I started feeling myself, and I could feel myself deteriorating because I wasn't given the care, and I have completely lost focus of where I was going or why the fuck I even came from. You know what I'm saying? I had completely lost it. But like I just said earlier, boy, when God put people in your life, and shout out to my brothers, because if it wasn't for them, something, they put up with all that shit. The whole entire mindset change I had, they didn't leave me by myself, and that's what you got to have around you. Those are real true friends, not friends when you say nothing, not talk shit, complain to other people when you ask them for money, not all that. A real true friend that stand by through thick or thin, no matter if they cut your ass out, no matter whatever go down, they still there, and you still build and rock and grow from each other. That's a real friend. And like Pop said last time we was on here, that shit come a dime a dozen.
Ain't too many, man.
When you find them, you got to cherish it. Some of y'all squandering a lot of your help. You squandering a lot of your relationships around here.
Squandering, be bull jiving. You cool when you're linking.
You can't be
but
accountable.
You can't have a conversation with each other.
You can't, and you squandering a lot of things, the resources that you could have got a long time ago. Now you got to wait 5 to 6 more years or something like that, because you didn't just take that opportunity to say, okay, my bad, let's reset, let's go through this.
Well, man, go ahead, dude.
But I was gonna say this: if somebody is at least telling you something, you know what I'm saying, to encourage you, or to tell you, or even just telling you, hey, you need to calm down or something. Keep that person close. You know what I'm saying, because they care at least enough to be caring about your well-being. You know what I'm saying? There's not a lot of people that's left, like they said, they come dime a dozen. Just to even somebody to say something, you know what I'm saying, that they even cares.
People don't care no more, man.
They don't.
I'm going to say this because we ain't going to stay before you long. I'm going to say before we get on out of here. I time about out. I see the clock. I time about out. When you get, and you getting that word from a higher power. Now, you believe whatever you believe, but I'm talking about the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit right now. Whenever you know you getting that, if you do not take heed or listen, that is going to be a very bad problem. Because you don't get but so many warnings. You know what I'm saying? And my grandma always told me, God will get your attention even if it's through death. And I done had a death experience in my family, and I didn't want to feel like that was him getting my attention. But my grandma always told me, You know what I'm saying? And I have known that to be true.
That's real.
You know what I'm saying?
It is true.
If you know you praying for something and you ask for it and you get it, you need to take heed to it. That's what I'm gonna say. If you need to talk to somebody, go talk to them. If you know you need, everybody knows something wrong with their ass. You might want to go around here and say, I'm good, but you know something wrong with you. You know what you done been through. You know your traumas and all that. You everybody know. Everybody know. You know what I'm saying? The Lord take care of babies and fools. So which one are you? And if you know, make sure you go get the necessary help. It's easier said than done. We can talk about it and laugh about it, but you gotta go put that work in. That's when the real healing starts, when you put the work in.
Yep.
That's what I'm gonna say.
Admit that you got a problem too.
That's first step.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Then work on it.
Man, I'm just praying for everybody, man. I ain't really got to lie. I'm praying for everybody to be able to overcome anything that you might have and have the strength and the hope to understand that you can move on and you can look within yourself and say, look, this is something I need. This is something I have to do for myself, not only for myself, but the people that are around me. You got to realize you're not the only one that's suffering when you're going through something. Yeah. So when you're going through that, man, even if it is death or suicide, your family suffers. Yeah. If you come around and you're mad, your family suffers. Yeah. If you're drinking all the time, your family suffers. Indeed. People around you suffers. Yep. You know, if you're on drugs, people suffer. Yeah. You got to understand that it's always something that's causing someone else to suffer, and some of y'all don't care. Yeah. But it's okay because you do care about yourself. Look within yourself. You're suffering too. Yeah.
Yeah, that's real talk. Boy, you better cry.
No.
Boy, you did that, man. You did that. Well, man, y'all already know, man, this episode has been brought to you by Real Demand TV. I don't got to keep saying it, but I am. We're streaming in 172 countries. If anything that you know that you can get a podcast on, download it on there. We are on there, Backyard Comedy. Make sure, because I don't want to fight this joker again, Backyard Comedy LLC. Make sure y'all hit our website, backyardcomedyllc.com. Get on there, check us out, man. Got some new updates up there for y'all. Y'all stay tuned, because we got much more to come. Anybody you know dealing with substance abuse, anybody you know dealing with anything, call my man Mr. Julius Roman so he can get you moving in the right direction. He would love to sit down and talk to you to see what kind of help he can get for you, man. I'm very sure of that. As always, I got my boy, Skeezy Baby. Please say the baby.
Yeah, I already know that, man.
That really do that I got beside me.
Right beside you, brother.
I'm your boy Vocals26. Make sure y'all hit us at backyardcomedy3@gmail.com. We would love to hear y'all take on this and any other episode that we have streaming that you have watched that you want to comment on. Hit us on that. Time is a precious thing to waste, so don't waste it by not watching Backyard Comedy. We appreciate you and we love you. Stay tuned for a message from our mental health awareness.
Love y'all.
As far as mental health in men, probably underdiagnosed. Men tend not to go and self-report or seek out treatment compared to women. And conversely to that, unfortunately, men are responsible for about 80% of all suicides.
This Father's Day, Dr. Harper stresses that it's important to know the warning signs of mental health struggles seen in fathers and father figures.
A lot of times with depressive disorders, you might notice someone having problems with just looking or appearing to be depressed, not eating as much, but having bad sleep, not doing the things they enjoy. That's kind of a prominent symptom. We call that anhedonia, which kind of losing pleasure. So if they used to enjoy to fish or play sports or things like that, just those things aren't as fun as they used to be. You're spending time with their family.
It's most common in men to feel like they can't express their true feelings. This is because of societal expectations and standards set that prevent them to.
People expect some amount of stoicism from men, especially related to their relationships. You shouldn't be upset or show a lot of emotion or affection or cry. Or any number of those things, but every man that you meet is someone's father or son or brother or some loved one, and they're special to someone. And so maybe take that time, that day to thank that person for being that individual in your life and appreciating for that, even if they're not a father. But I think everybody could use a day out of the year where they get some little extra attention from everybody just to say thank you and appreciate what you've done for them.
Fire up that engine to take me away. I'm speeding through emotions with every mile.